right, if you're just joining us, this is Good Morning Abuja on NTH and F5, the Unity Station. Right now, we have our first guest in the house, and guess what? She is a banker, she is an author, she is a communicator. She has a book titled Leading for Impact. Okay, she's the founder, being inspired by Stellar Foundation, a non-governmental organization. Please join us as we welcome Stella George in the house.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good
morning, ma'am.
morning.
You look good.
Yes.
And I love your smile.
Thank you very much. And you guys look colorful.
Thank you.
I love
Gracias.
that.
Thank you so
And
much.
thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Thank
much.
you.
Okay, so now let's talk about leadership. We all know leadership to be an action or a way of leading other people. And I know there are some people that are very, very difficult to lead. You can attest to that, right?
That's right.
Okay, so now let's talk about effective leadership for impact. How do we achieve that, or how do you define that?
Thank you very much. So I define leading for impact as the ability of an individual to utilize their talents, their gifts, their skills, their experiences, their exposure to make a positive change, first within their circle of influence, in their society, in the community at large, and even in the world. So it is beyond having a position. It's not about a title.
Okay.
It's not about authority. It's about leaving a legacy that transcends financial benefits.
Okay, let's look at for you. Let's
Yes.
look at the qualities
Mhm.
of a good leader.
Fantastic. I love that question. So, first, I would say an impactful leader must be visionary. You must see ahead as a leader. An impactful leader must be able to articulate a compelling vision that can drive others to action. Where do you see the team going? Where do you see the organization going? That's the first thing. You must have that compelling vision that when the people looks at it, looks into the future with you, they should be able to go into that future with you. That's the first thing. Now, the second thing that is that an impactful leader must be empathetic. Yes, you must show that you care for the people that you lead. It's not about selfishness. It's not just about you alone. Yes, so an impactful leader must show empathy for the people that they lead. And integrity is either 100 or 0. So an impactful leader must have integrity. Your words and your actions must align. You don't say one thing and you're doing another
So
thing.
that means your words. So they must be able to take your word to the bank.
Yes, yes.
And they
yes.
shouldn't be do what I say, but don't do what I
Don't do
do.
what.
You get me. You don't just say something and you're doing another thing because the people are watching. The people are watching and they want to be inspired by your actions. Yes.
Okay, so now let's talk about your personal experience. Can you share with us maybe any experience you have that has to do with impactful leadership?
Thank you so much. I've had so many experiences where I witnessed people display impactful leadership. But one stood out for me. One stood out for me because this is a young man that did not have a title. There was no position attached to him, yet he was able to display impactful leadership. That was before I joined the banking industry. I had a short job where I was a teacher, and this young man also was my colleague. So his name is Ahmed. It's Ahmed. Ahmed displayed impactful leadership because he went beyond the call of duty as teachers. He observed the community where we taught that the young people there lacked some knowledge, they lacked some skills. And I saw Ahmed began to rally people. He began to network where he brought people that would teach people computer skills. He was bringing emotional and wellness coaches to talk to the young people to maintain their mental health. This is a young man that was paid just a small salary like every one of us. Yet he decided to make an impact within that community. And his name, everybody got to know Ahmed as that person that left a very great legacy. And that touched me to say, no, to make an impact doesn't necessarily have to be somebody that has a position or authority or has money. You just have to have the heart. Yes.
So would you say,
Okay, sorry.
would you say that was one of your motivational?
Yes, that's one of it. Yes, that's one of it. I've had several experiences, even while I was in secondary school, in university. I've seen people display impactful leadership, people that went above and beyond to serve others. I have seen them. But this story of Ahmed always resonates with me because I saw him with little or nothing make an impact in the society. Yes.
Okay, for you, where is the place of communication in leadership?
Fantastic. I like that question. You see, communication is the bridge. Is the bridge between clarity and confusion in leadership.
Okay.
Yes. As a leader, your ability to communicate effectively is what will get your team from where they are to where you want them to be.
Absolutely.
Yes, you should be able to communicate your ideas in an effective manner. You don't say one thing and you mean another thing. Your communication has to be explicit. So it's very, very critical in leadership. We have seen people send their team to war without necessarily wanting to send them to war, but because they were not able to communicate.
Wow.
With your words, you can make peace. So leaders are supposed to be effective communicators.
Okay, now let's look at your book. Leading for Impact.
Yes.
So the motivation, where did it
Tell
come
us
from,
about
and
it.
why that title?
Yes, thank you so much. I like this question. It's part of what I said at the beginning. The motivation for writing the book is because right from my secondary school days, I have always found myself in positions of leadership.
Okay.
Yes, as a young person growing up.
Okay, I
Yes,
think we understand that.
Yes.
By choice or by chance?
Sometimes by chance, I found myself
Oh.
just being at the forefront of leading. I love to serve.
But they must have seen the quality.
Yes,
I suppose.
yes. So sometimes you see, even my colleagues, they say, Stella, go for us. Stella, be this one. Stella, do that.
Okay.
So,
Because you are not spoken.
yes. So aside from that, so I discovered that I had so much to give as a leader. And I have been in leadership positions. Where I work now, I'm a team lead. I lead people. In my non-governmental organization, I'm a leader. In Toastmasters as well, like I mentioned, I led close to the division level. So all the experiences put together is what I put in that book. It's like a compendium of my experiences. People were asking, how were you able to lead so effectively? Can you share the knowledge? And I decided to put them in a book. Yes. So for people that have read it, it has been good reviews so far. Okay. Yes.
Okay, so now let's talk about your challenges. You're a banker, you're an author, you also founded an organization.
Yes.
How do
Yes.
you merge all this together without the other one
And
suffering?
you're a mother with
I'm a
children.
mother
And
with
a wife.
children.
So how do you combine all this together?
Yes, thank you very much. So at every point in time, this is my advice to people. At every point in time, you should know which takes precedence, which takes priority over what. As of today, my work takes priority in terms of the things that I do socially, right? So after my work comes the other things like my NGO and all that. Then in terms of family, family comes first, right? So at every point in time, learning to balance what is the key. The first thing to do is to also note is that aside from the work you do, you also have a vision as a human being. You have a passion that drives you. So you don't allow that to go to sleep because you're working or because you have a family. My children have their own vision. They have their own goals. I, as a person, as Stella, I have mine. And those are the things that drives me, that gives me joy. So I find time to balance everything. But the most important thing, like I said, is that we should prioritize. Know which one takes more percentage of your time and know which one should come last.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so Can we have advice?
Advice for our
Yes.
viewers. We
Warn your
aspire to
talking
be like you.
Yes. Talk to our leaders, talk to everybody.
Yes, thank you very much for this opportunity. So, this morning I just want to encourage everyone first to discover your purpose. Discover your purpose and understand that life is not just about titles, positions, authority. You can make an impact even where you are. In your office, you can make an impact. In your family, you can be the leader. You can be that change that you really want to see. And so I want to say that everywhere you find yourself, you see something going wrong, do not just complain. Do something.
Do something and say something like
Say something and do something. You don't just say, you do, you act. Right? So you need to have a purpose, you need to have passion, you need to contribute positively and not just to castigate. There has to be an impact that you're bringing to the table. Everybody has something to give. Look inwards, find that thing, and begin to make a change within where you are first. Then you can expand it.
Wow.
That is why they say change begins with
you,
me.
me.
Wow, wow, wow.
Begins
Thank
with
you
us.
so
With
much.
us, yes.
Thank you
Wow.
so much.
Awesome.
This has been impactful
Honestly,
indeed. You have really
honestly.
impacted on us. Thank you so much this
Thank you
morning.
so much.
Wow, wow, wow. And she's a banker. So now you're rushing back to the bank. Wow. Well, if you just tuned in, we have been speaking with Stella George, an experienced banker, a certified communicator, which we have seen here, and she is a leader. Also, she's an author.
And a
Jack
mother.
of all trades,
Mother.
master of all. Thank you so much once
Thank
again for
you so
coming
much.
around.
Thank you so much for
And she
having
has
me.
said it, she has said it. You can always do something. You can start from where you are. You don't need a title. You don't need to be
Honestly.
a senator,
To
a
impact
governor.
lives. You don't need it.
You don't need to be
Start where
somebody.
you are.
Start where you are, from
Yeah.
where you are seated. Honestly, she has touched, she has impacted on us.
Honestly.
So we are going to
And we are grateful for
kickstart.
that. Yeah, we
Thank you
kickstart.
so
We
much for
kickstart from where
having
we
me.
stopped.
Thank you so much for having me. It has been a very enjoyable session. In fact, I don't even feel like leaving
Oh, please stay.
Please stay. Thank you
Well,
so
the
much.
program is still Good Morning Abuja. Let's take this short break, and when we return, the program will continue. Don't touch your dial.